Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today we're going to talk about new player experience and why I think if you don't believe the new player experience has happened and has been executed in a major way within 2024, you're not paying attention. And I think this is deeply important, both because we need to know what's happening as the team moves forward, and we also need to hold ourselves accountable in understanding what has been provided. Otherwise, we're going to have doubts and greater concerns because we aren't really acknowledging what has happened. So has everything happened? No, but many things have. We need to talk about. I hope that sounds interesting, and I hope you'll stick around. We've seen content talking about how new player experience in 2024 was a miss, and we haven't done anything significant, and that is. It could have been, maybe the point is we could have focused on other things that would have moved the needle in a more major way. That's a point that can be well debated, and I'm not saying it's entirely wrong, but let's not miss the point that absolutely new player experience is a target that the team has set, which will bear fruit and maybe has borne fruit. More than that, it has begun to be executed upon. It's not something that's happening in the future that means nothing and has no sort of tangible results. It is trackable, it is traceable, and we can and should hold up those examples now for us as a community to better understand what the team is doing and how they have executed upon their plans and promises that they said this year. They said new player experience was the most important thing. They said that this was the focus and that the driving new player adoption would be approached by improving the experience of the player. One of the things I did a video on a few weeks ago, and I would continue to point to, is the amazing interface of the mobile is far more improved. I'm showing you a clip on the screen. You can see the fullness of the battle if you want to hold it vertical, which is that cell phone, which is where most people in the world are going to access this game. The battle mechanic is fine, but more than that, as we load up a battle here, user interface for creating and crafting your team is so much more functional. This view, this battle history screen, it's so much more functional. Modern, wild, it's so clean, it's greatly improved. That is not something small. This is something massive. The lack of a mobile experience detracted or deterred or held back massive communities of individuals that could have been exposed to and maybe would have found a home in Splinterlands. In fact, I know people who personally left because they couldn't enjoy the mobile. And when the app died, they left. That was Rogue's story. You guys know Rogue. He left because the mobile was unbearable and he played on mobile. This is a first world individual, American, who felt that if it wasn't playable on mobile, I'm not going to play at all. Click on my summoners. I love that I can actually click. I can actually hold. I can touch on their abilities. I can see the different abilities. I can taunt, dodge, phase. It's all visible and it's small enough, but my large finger can click on those things individually. And if I didn't actually want Coral Lurker, there's a big clear X. I can go ahead and delete that. I don't want trample. Let's go. We've already got reach. So let's just play something really quickly with not a lot of thought. And down here, the mana selection, numeric values. You can go melee or archery or magic. It's so much clearer. It's so much more clean. It is by no means as bad as it once was. I grab my 5th spot monster and quickly hold him for a moment till he highlights, and I drag him to the 2nd spot. Now I have Tidebiter in the 2nd. I have room for one more. And, I'm considering the Theathrod for a meat shield, but I'm also considering, we're going to bring a healer. We have reach. Yeah, this is a solid team. We're going to hit battle. That team creation was so much more convenient, visually pleasing, satisfying than ever before. This work, huge advancement for the game. I talked about this previously, but it needs to be centered. It needs to be brought forward because people say there's nothing that's happening. There's nothing meaningful happening. This matters. Players will come and stay because the mobile experience is viable, functional, enjoyable. If it isn't, they won't. This matters. That's one piece of the new player experience and how it's been greatly and radically improved. The new Glint shop. How has this not been held up as part of the new player experience? The fact that you have functionality and flexibility with respect to how you spend your rewards, how you receive the rewards for your time and attention in Splinterlands. You want cards? Go ahead and have them. You want you want randomness and maybe an opportunity for something really cool, but also an opportunity for maybe something a little less exciting like merits or energy or potions. Go ahead and buy yourself a loot chest. You want titles? You want resources? This flexibility should be considered and held up as an example of how the team has executed on new player experience. They've broadened out the rewards that are possible. And yet we talk like nothing has happened yet. These are huge updates. The jackpot prizing, which was an innovative solution within respect to the these chests. Yeah, it was at first they overkilled it and they gave too big a percentage and they had to pull it back. But that's fun, man. I haven't personally got any beta packs or anything like that, but they exist. They're possible. It's a 0.1% chance on the ultimates. The majors has the 0.01 and the minors is 0.01. Even a small fry can get access to these chests. I was talking with Gathering the Magic, who plays a $10 account. He paid nothing into that account except for the $10 that it cost to buy the spell book. And he's earning, I think, 5 or 6 of these. I think it's common draws a day. It might be the minor chest. I think it was common draws. He's getting a couple, I think he might be getting 100 glint per win or something like that in bronze or wherever he plays, silver or wherever he plays. And so my point is, flexibility within the rewards that you receive is new player experience and an improvement for the game and for the community. Let's stop pretending like nothing has happened. These are huge. The glint modifiers with respect to the glint, the more glint you get at the lower levels. Now you get a lot of glint at the higher level, but they recently tweaked how much you're being paid at the lowest level, where it moved from like maybe you could get 1 card a day to 5 cards a day. That's again not my personal experience, but Gathering the Magic, a friend of the channel, and you know Gathering the Magic 1984. He covers that with that $10 account. That's what he does. 5 cards every single day while enjoying the process of playing the game. Fun and has a future. He's building his rewards through his time and attention while he enjoys a piece of entertainment. 5 cards a day is a lot more satisfying than 1 card a day. That's new player experience. The recent League chest rewards. Today I recorded a 45-minute video involving a rank reward. I moved from Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. I got like 15 chests or something. I got like 8 common chests. I got 4 or 5 rares. I got 2 or 3 ultimates. Those are free chests in addition to any other reward, and they're paid to every player as you move from one level to another. It's one more example of how the player experience is being broadened, enhanced, improved. There's so many examples, guys. We're just getting started. The way that card combining is done through Splinterlands, you can press this plus sign. You always could do that. It used to be just press the plus sign and boom, they're all combined. Now it says this will combine as many cards as possible from the currently displayed list. Additional cards past max level will not be combined. This cannot be undone. Are you sure? That is helpful for a new player who doesn't understand the simplicity of bringing cards together. That's an important way that we are helping new players combine their assets. When I grab a card that's 400 and I grab another card and go beyond max level, I've got a max level Grum Flame Blade and I'm going to try and add another. Not letting me. It's just saying, no, you don't need to do that. Like this wasn't always the case. It would have previously said you could do it. It would be like, you can't. It would say you shouldn't in some way that I can't remember. But these are small quality of life changes that matter and should be rewarded, acknowledged, and appreciated. Practice battle. Being able to, now it's low level stuff, but to be able to experience the game without the immediate, I guess, concern about playing against real world players. That's important. That's helpful. The redirection or the removal of vouchers from the game. I know some of us wanted vouchers and we enjoyed having access to that. We received them as rewards and we liked spending it. But we have to acknowledge and admit that that was a barrier to some players being able to enjoy the game. They didn't have access to vouchers and they didn't know how to access them at all. Maybe they didn't understand blockchain and, Hive Engine, or where do I even buy those on a peer-to-peer market? And therefore they were at a disadvantage with respect to pricing, whether it was on validator nodes or card packs, whatever purchases were happening. If there's a voucher discount and you don't know how to, and a community of people don't know how to access vouchers, you have to admit that that's a discouragement to those who might want to buy assets in this game. And so the removal of those vouchers was an advancement in the new player experience. Serious fight against bots. I mean, Modern League, and this is something we asked for. We as a community members came forward and said, we want bots out of Modern. And now that largely, to my knowledge, is so. If there are bots happening in Modern, I don't know about it. And It is now a league where we receive massive rewards for our time and effort. Massive in the sense of like way more significant SPS payouts than we do in Wild. And I'm going to say that that is a product of our voice being heard by the team who then acted and changed something to improve the player experience. If we don't look at it that way, I don't know how else there is to look at it, frankly. When you don't have a Wild Pass, there is a bumper that pops up and says you shouldn't buy wild cards because you don't have a Wild Pass. With my 1258 account, we can quickly show. Let's try and buy an alpha card and see what happens. So let's come in here and let's try and buy a giant rock. It's only a 10-cent card. I got enough DEC for it. Let's try and buy it and see what happens. You are buying the following cards. One giant rock. Are you sure you want to purchase the selected cards for 126 DEC? This card is only playable in Wild. If you do not purchase a Wild Pass, it will not be usable in Ranked. That is new player experience at work. Set rental. Yes, it's only lower league levels for Chaos and Rift Watchers, but this matters. This is new player experience availability. Like to be able to just press rent and just go ahead and I want those 136 cards for 100 DEC a day. View cards or rent. Boom. Like this is new player experience in the making. Something that I've really enjoyed. It's a small thing, but it matters. When you submit a battle, go into rank play, and we submit a team. When we submit a team, we have X number of minutes to submit that team. A big upgrade is the fact that it's going to submit my team for me when I forget to press submit. Used to just forfeit, which sucked. When I do not press battle, it's going to just submit my team. That's new player friendly. That's new player experience improvements. When you advance league level, the game is now telling you how much SPS staked you need to have a 10x reward modifier. This matters. This is helpful. This is clarifying unclear topics and pieces of knowledge that were, maybe you had to go know where to look. Do you know about the Discord? Do you know who to ask? Well, let's just go ahead and answer those questions in easy, simple ways. Tech modernization has come a long way and is coming a long way. There's big improvements there. 100 free SPS delegations from the DAO on spellbook purchase. There's so many things that the team has done and that they will continue to do that drive new player experience to a better and better place. And we are hitting ourselves, or worse, we're being malicious if we tend as though there has been no success or no progress to this end within 2024. These are just some of the topics, by the way. There are way more. There's also things like community initiatives that have created guilds for the express purpose of bringing in new players to the guild experience. And then data is being tracked by the team to see, are those people who enter the guild sticking? Are they playing? Are they winning? And all of that becomes relevant because we want to better understand how we keep people. Turns out being a part of a guild is a huge improvement for someone's likelihood to find joy and stick around playing Splinterlands for a while. The data shows like more than 50% of the people that join a guild at the outset of playing stick around and do well in the game, playing lots of games and really getting involved in the community. So initiatives such as that are ongoing and effective. There's so much more that we could say, but we'll conclude here in 20 seconds as the team is about to submit itself. And again, are any one of these changes by themselves radically revolutionizing what it means to play? No, but they're compounding and contributing to an improved and more satisfying and attractive and convenient interface for this amazing blockchain-based video game. It is wrong to say that new player experience has gone unfulfilled or unmet, or that nothing has happened in this year. In fact, many things have happened, and to not observe that and acknowledge it is to either have our eyes closed, or worse, to just be frankly malicious and inaccurate. And if we as a community are going to thrive and survive, one of the things that's going to be really important is that those who understand how good this game is actually have a capacity and a willingness to communicate the victories that the team have brought and have offered. If we don't, who will? If we can't communicate the growth and the improvement and the joy, who will? But if we do, others will hear it. And when they hear it, I'm convinced that our community will grow and the investment will thrive. I think this game is fun and has a future. I've been here for 6 years and I plan to be here for 6 more. Who knows? forevermore. I said recently, I can't picture a future or a price point where I would sell all of my Splinterlands assets. I'm here forever or till failure. I think this game is that satisfying, that exciting. The future is that good. That's not advice, it's my opinion. I love it, and I think when we love it, we ought to speak confidently about that and know what we're talking about. Tons of progress has happened in 2024. This is a scratching of the surface for that improvement and for that progress. And I hope that you enjoyed hearing about it as well as seeing it. And if you haven't yet seen some of the updates I mentioned in this video, let me know in the comments below. If there are things you felt I should have mentioned but didn't, please drop a comment. Let's make sure everybody knows how this game is growing and where the progress has been in the last 12 months, 10 months for this amazing game. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. God bless.